Let's revisit the example from the beginning of the lesson and try to put into context what's happening using JavaScript code. Now, if you don't remember, the scenario we had was whether or not to purchase an item from the store. To make this a little more realistic, let's say the store I'm purchasing the item from is JD's department store. Let's say the item that I want to purchase is a hammer, and let's say it costs 15 bucks. I'll update this flowchart and, okay, there we go. That looks a little bit better. We've got purchase hammer from JD's department store. If we got enough money, yes, buy the hammer. If we don't buy the hammer. So the real question here is, do we have enough money to purchase the hammer? And to answer that question, we need to know two things. We need to know how much money do I have and how much money does the hammer cost. Now we already know that the hammer costs $15, so in code, I can store that value in a variable called price. So let's do that right now. Okay, so I've got my text editor open and we'll say var price equals $15. And that's going to be the price of our hammer. All right, and let's say I have $20 on me, and we'll store that into another variable called money and set that equal to the $20. So this is how much money I have. Cool. This gives us enough information to answer whether or not I have enough money to purchase the hammer, but in order to represent that question in code, we'll need to use a comparison. If you remember back to the last lesson on data types, we can use a comparison to compare two strings or two numbers. So for this situation, I'll write my comparison to see if my money is greater than or equal to my price of the hammer. Now by itself, we know that this expression will either evaluate to true or false. If it evaluates to true, then I know I've got enough money to purchase the hammer. If it evaluates to false, then I'm out of luck and I can't buy the hammer. But this code doesn't really do anything for us by itself. So here's where things get really awesome. We can actually represent this question and both possible results using an if-else statement. So let me type that out and then explain what's going on. Okay, so the way this code reads is if money is greater than or equal to price, then we'll want to print out buy the hammer. Otherwise, or else, we'll want to say don't buy the hammer. So what this actually means is if our money is greater than or equal to the price, run the code inside these curly braces. Otherwise, run the code inside these curly braces. Now pay attention to the curly braces here because they're super important. Whatever code is written inside of these things is going to be the code that's executed when our condition is either true, like it is up here, or false. Also notice how I've indented the code over so you can tell what part of our code belongs to which block. The code here belongs to our if statement, and the code here belongs to our else statement. So to show you this code working, I'm just going to copy and paste it over to the JavaScript console. When we paste it in, awesome. That's what we expect to see. So our money, which is $20, is greater than or equal to the price. So it hits this conditional statement because it's true, and it prints out buy the hammer. And just to show you that it can work the other way around, let's redo the same code, but let's say it's $10 that I have instead of 20. Awesome. Then it prints out don't buy the hammer.